In the dark and fog-shrouded alleys of Victorian-era London, a nameless terror lurked in the shadows. This phantom-like figure would become one of history's most enigmatic and notorious serial killers, Jack the Ripper. The chilling tale begins in the autumn of 1888, a time when London was grappling with the stark contrast between its opulent grandeur and the squalid poverty that festered in its overcrowded East End. Jack the Ripper's reign of terror unfolded in the heart of this destitution, in the Whitechapel district. His victims were overwhelmingly impoverished women, often prostitutes, struggling to survive in the harsh underbelly of the city. What set the Ripper apart from other criminals of the time was the sheer brutality of his crimes. His modus operandi was horrifyingly consistent. He would stalk and then savagely murder his victims, mutilating their bodies in grotesque ways. This reign of terror began with the murder of Mary Ann Nichols on August 31, 1888. The grisly details of the murders sent shockwaves through Victorian society. Panic and fear gripped the East End, and the Ripper's acts became the stuff of nightmares. The press, eager to sensationalize the story, dubbed the killer Jack the Ripper, a name that would become infamous throughout the world. The authorities were thrust into a frenzy of investigation, and the police force was under immense pressure to apprehend the killer. The Whitechapel Murders became front-page news, with newspapers publishing sensationalized accounts, speculation, and even taunting letters believed to be from the killer himself. Despite the heightened police presence and extensive investigations, the elusive killer continued his gruesome spree. Over the course of several months in 1888, he claimed the lives of at least 5 known victims: Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. Each murder seemed to escalate in brutality, and the Ripper seemed to taunt the authorities with his ability to strike and disappear without a trace. The investigation into the Ripper's identity was hampered by the limitations of forensic science in that era. The police relied heavily on witness statements, which were often conflicting and unreliable. The lack of modern investigative techniques, such as DNA analysis, further complicated the case. In addition to the confusion, several hoaxes and false confessions only added to the mystery. As the killings continued, the pressure on the police mounted. Public outcry demanded results, but the Ripper remained elusive. Various suspects were questioned, but none were definitively linked to the crimes. One of the most famous suspects was a man named Montague John Druitt, a barrister with a history of mental instability who died shortly after the final murder. The last widely recognized victim of Jack the Ripper was Mary Jane Kelly, brutally murdered on November 9, 1888. After this horrific crime, the Ripper seemed to vanish into the shadows, leaving a city and a world haunted by the memory of his crimes. Over the years, countless theories and suspects have been proposed, ranging from ordinary citizens to members of the royal family. However, the true identity of Jack the Ripper has never been conclusively proven, and the case remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in the history of crime. The legend of Jack the Ripper has endured for over a century, capturing the imagination of authors, filmmakers, and amateur sleuths. Theories about his identity continue to surface, and the case is the subject of ongoing debate and speculation. The Ripper's legacy lives on in the annals of true crime history, a testament to the enduring power of a mystery that refuses to be solved.